Hello and welcome to another Griswold Grimm stream. This one's called Faith Dream Battery Be the Cake. It's a live stream, so we're gonna give some people time to show up now. Get your get comfortable. Get comfortable and relax. Listen to the sound of my voice and relax. It's the real Graham Gray. He ain't here just to be pretty. He's gonna lay down some lines, and he ain't going. I'm totally gonna waste your time. Hey, welcome. I'm Graham Grizz. You're in the hive mind and or watching the replay, where you can get a 5-point bonus to these upcoming savings throws. Um, very recently, Chad was premiering the Not Estuary show over here. And the most delightful thing about that is he's resurrected this masterpiece. As performed apparently by Gavin Palmer. This one.
Well, I don't know about the meaning crisis, left, right, black, white, or other vices, which Jesus Christ is right, or if we're all saved. From my perspective, our propositions participate procedurally, running in circles. We're in the age age of decay. Symbolically speaking, the reapers are reaping, them damn egregores are whispering sweetly. We're all NPCs in the belly of the beast. Red pill, blue pill, bread pill, Mars Hill, or DMT, or whatever you feel. Got one and number two, it's all the same damn thing. So clean your room, repent on Zoom, ontology for dummies, a bird's eye view. 'Cause if you really knew, could you really even say? Totally depraved, all totally saved. A total disposition from the bed we all made. Or is it the elect? Or are we just insane? From John Vervaeke to Jonathan Pajot and Jordan Peterson to the Chris Pacou Show. Paul Vanderklays and Griswold Grimm and all the dice he shakes. This estuary ditty is a little bit cringy, ain't quite the U-shaped or the hero's journey. All the NPCs in the flood treading water to watch you save the day with a bunch of chitter-chatter. From the ortho bros to the Catholic Joes, or atheistic Joes, to Protestant folks, the Joe Schmoes, and Jewish Jacobs, and everything in between. So love the Lord your God with all your heart and soul, with all your mind and your fingers and toes, all your neighbors too, as if they were your own. So love the Lord your God with all your heart and soul, and with all your mind and your fingers and toes, all your neighbors too, as if they were your own.
How about that? How about that? And then, of course, it turns into this. Here, let me give you the saving throws versus the mind control. You might need them. We're having divine providence stand in for survival as the survival die has gone missing once again. But you get to choose between survival, social, wisdom, or heart as the basis for your savings throw. I roll the die. If it's over 10, you take half damage from the mind control that follows and the rest of the show and the rest of your day. If it's under 10, you take full damage. But hey, you had a saving, so at least you know you're taking damage. Survival, social, wisdom, or heart. Choose. Survivalist coming in with the 5 on the divine substitute die. Socialists with the 4. Everybody's going to be needing their bonuses today, apparently, except for the wisdom kids coming in with the solid 18. 18 hard folks with the big old deuce. At least the bonuses still apply. Indigo kids a 4 also, pairing up with that other one there. Welcome, everybody. This is the Be the Cake Faith Dream Battery stream on the Grim Grizz Grim. Special thanks to the Shadow Cabal. So say we all. We do have an update to the Summit Grift goal where I've been sent to Tarpon Springs, and I think the event starts today. A week from now, I should be at the Tarpon Springs at the summit. It's become debatable whether or not I should have a suit be in the suit while I'm there. and that's why there's been a goalpost shift on the Summit Grift goal. It says for a suit in the suit at the top of the Hive Mind chat over there, as you can see. This is what it looks like on my end when someone like Stephen D buys me a coffee and says zoot before the stream starts. Now that the stream has started, we get the fancy Kofi bot thing that Kale Zeldin took part of way up here. See, suits are stupid expensive. So the goalpost is really taking a kick down the road. I don't know. We'll see what we can do with what we get. Thank you, Kale, for that. And Ups helping out with the cats. That's you're keeping them alive by making them a source of income. Thank you very much. That's yes. Good rolls tonight. Welcome. Oh, here, have some branding. What? Yes, this one. So anyway, the Not Estuary show with Chad turned into this over here, where we got this all-star cast of Chad the Alcoholic from the Friday Morning Nameless, Pete from Strange Theology, Neil from Chris McD from Waves of Obsession, Christian Baxter Whitey from Christian Baxter Whitey, another Neil that doesn't have a channel. Oh, look, there's D-Dot. Hey, I remember D-Dot. And Teo. It's one of those. Look at the all-star cast. Here's a sample of the Watch for the Nod.
Familiar with. Is that something we can just unpack real quick, or is there more to that?
Give her help.
I think from my experience was just Rebel Wisdom. If you go back to Rebel Wisdom,
Oh, that's what it is. Okay.
That would, I think, be the locus of that.
Blue
Jordan
Church.
yeah,
he's
he
a
had
Blue
some
Church
words.
guy.
Yeah, he brought some words.
Since it's got a mention, we can pull a card for the Blue Church. If they had camera work, the person who could could have a full screen or a bigger screen in the fancy StreamYards. They probably need a tech guy that's not taking part to manage that, to make it more appealing and better for everybody, I think. How's everybody doing out there in the Hive Mind today? It's I'm feeling that, very out of touch. And it's a strange and mysterious thing I barely begin to understand by perusing the meme dump on the Broken Clock Tower Discord. 7 of Diamonds is the Blue Church card of the show. Welcome, everybody.
That's about where we are right now. We're getting towards the crucifixion.
There you go.
Okay.
That's it. Go ahead, David. Your turn.
Ooh, good song. Here we go.
There's a train coming. You don't need nobody. You just get on board. All you need is faith to hear the demons alarming. You don't need nobody. You just thank the Lord.
and the blue church's saint by Stephen Saint of View is Odysseus of Beritus, indigo diamond. See, that's on there. That's on the one side. We also have the Faith Dream Battery side, which is the title of today's stream, so we can get into that at any time. I think that one might be more fun to do. That one might be more fun to do. Are we ready for that? I don't. No, let's one more.
We all know that there is no agency any living gent can see doing what is right for me. Is lifting up my bro so he can grow some eyes to see that doing what is right for me increases all our agency.
All right, welcome to the Be the Cake stream. The Faith Dream Battery. This image was generated by the Night Cafe over here. That's all I told it was Promethea, and that's what it gave it. It really struck me that it too has two birds, the same way that Pastor Paul's YouTube channel has two birds on it. I was wondering what the symbolism might be. Turns out that well, the thing is, I've been sent to this tarpon springs. Tarpon is a fish. There's a type of fish called the tarpon. It's tarpon springs, and it's a good thing I'm driving. I don't want to go through airport procedures, so I'm driving there, and I don't really pay much attention to the symbolic world stuff because it was too hard for me not to troll. And it was like, all right, I'm tired of trolling you. You're tired of being trolled by me. I'm just gonna not pay much attention to your end. I keep saying, send me a symbolic interpretation guy, and nobody shows up. But we'll just let it be. But we did meet up in that old Chino place, and I gave him the Promethea book so that because he said that he once said Alan Moore is his nemesis. And Alan Moore is a nasty guy who made himself a black magician by saying he was. And since Peugeot said he was his nemesis, I gave him the book, the graphic novel series with the Promethea lady. And I was hoping that, because that's if I run into Peugeot at his little summit there, that's my question for him, man. Is like, where is the in-depth analysis of the symbolism contained in this dark tome? And there's some words to hold you over between brandings.
The list?
Yes, any of the first level ones.
I'm gonna get a soda. Anyone want one? Hey, Graham, I'm not in the room, right? What room? I want to cast Magic Missile. The room where he's casting all these spells from. He hasn't cast anything yet. I am, though, if you'd listen. I'm casting Magic Missile.
Why are you casting Magic Missile? There's nothing to attack here.
I'm attacking the darkness.
Now, members of the channel might be calling for me to hire a Jamie or hire McMo as my Jamie, and special thanks to the Shadow Cabal. So say we all. You want me to hire, folks? We're gonna need to really up the Shadow Cabal game. They are the magic missiles. Look at this kale guy. Oh man, we had some fun yesterday with Gemini. The trick was to use Greek philosophers to get around filters. Oh, they're getting around filters on the new AI. That's the one that Google released, I guess. I heard something about that. Speaking of nothing of that, so it turns out there's this thing called a baseline test in the movie from a Ryan Gosling film that features a lot of It's featured in a lot of out of touch and similar meme dumpologies. And it turns out that line from the baseline test is from this here book, this Pale Fire, which was all sent to me because we are this, and then there it is. It turns out it's from a longer thing, and here's parts of that longer thing. Okay, I'm leading somewhere with this. Bear with me. I can't tell you how I knew, but I did know that I had crossed the border. Everything I loved was lost, but no aorta could report regret. A sun of rubber was convulsed and set, and blood-black nothingness began to spin, a system of cells interlinked within, cells interlinked within, cells interlinked within one stem, and dreadfully distinct against the dark, a tall white fountain played. And so that's a longer part of it. Oh, I realized, of course, that it was made not of our atoms, that the sense behind. I'm not. That's it. That's enough. Okay, and So, oh no! I put the wrong card in the box. Come back. There. No, you didn't. Yes, you did. Yeah, this is the lot there. So it turns out the other day over on Grail Country, it's apparently under the January 27th. I wrote the following poem. The hands of God were people's smiles to stay unseen midst free will's wiles. Body of Christ turned couch potato, watching now in mirrored cells the world in technique tornado. And I wrote it also like that guy did. See, it turns out that this whole book, the guy that wrote this book was about some other guy who wrote all the poems on the cards like this. And I have this poem that's on a card like this. And I decided that I would mail this very card to whoever gave me the biggest Kofi suit donation today. And I'll hit you up on the email afterwards. And I'll say, what's your address? And I'll put this in an envelope and send it to you if you're the largest suit donator for our Tarpon Springs trip today. How about that? Special.
I listen to him. I think he is telling us the truth. That is indeed what he wants. Those of you who are sort of sniffing for duplicity or grift or dishonesty, I don't smell any of that here. I think he's telling us. I see this guy. I see both of these guys, but I see this guy as being very, very genuine and honest. He is telling us exactly what he thinks.
Now, what'll that asshole think of next? Is anybody got a dime? I don't know.
And that, yes, welcome. It is grifty. It's a defense against the dark arts that helps people recognize a grift when they see one. It's a public service brought to you by the red card of the show. Dun, dun, dun. Welcome. This is the Faith Dream Battery part of the stream. It's also Be the Cake. And the thing about the Be the Cake is I needed something to put on the words, to put on the thumbnail. And those are the words that came to me, was Be the Cake. And so what? Hey, the Eight of Diamonds. The Eight of Diamonds is the red deck card of the show, brought to you by. And so I don't know what Be the Cake means. What does Be the Cake mean to you, Hive Mind? Let us know what Be the Cake might mean to you, because that's the mystery thumbnail title on today.
So before we
start on today's stream, Be the Cake, and that's the AI's rendition of Promethea, because that's what I want to talk to you about. This guy, who has been featured in a brand new release from the Jonathan Dumier, which I'm more likely to watch than the actual show. So let's get into that a little, shall we? Thanks, Johnny D. Oh, wait.
So before we start, I just want to say two things that are important. One is that, as many of you know, the Symbolic World Summit is coming very fast. The second thing I want to talk about is, of course, related to our subject, the Leviathan, which is that we are now crowdfunding God's Dog. And
the second thing I want to talk about is we're now crowdfunding. Wait.
One of the things that people have often pointed out to me is how a lot of these stories, they're not in scripture, that it is a lot of the associations are about the Leviathan and about the idea that it's related to the Ouroboros, the snake eating its tail, the idea that it's related to the devil himself, that all of these associations, a lot of people will point out that they're not directly in scripture. And so what I want to do is I want to kind of go through the imagery of the Leviathan and the symbolism around it, the iconography of the Leviathan. And it'll help us also see how the imagery develops and how it is in fact related to scripture and to other traditions. But
affluent school teacher Cale Zeldin says, "Isn't cake slang for booty?"
Everything is already there in scripture if you know how to read it. And I've often said that traditions, extra biblical traditions, are often there to point out things that are already in scripture, but that are sometimes difficult to perceive, because if you don't have the right intuition, you won't be able to see it. In the book of Job.
And if you weren't watching the Hive Mind, you weren't able to see Cassandra say, "Be the cake, have layers, be full of sugars." And James Henry called me baby cakes again. James, stop it.
The Leviathan is represented as an expression of God's power. It's like, who can you control the Leviathan? You, human, like, do you have enough power to master this giant monster? And the answer is, of course, no. And this is an example to show how our capacity, our power is limited compared to the.
While our power might be limited, McMo says, "I'm squatting so I can be the cake I wish to see in the world."
Capacity and power of God. Okay. And so, but in the way that it's represented, in the idea that it's a kind of chaos.
And Paul Vanderklay starts singing 60s songs. Oh, sugar, da 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 da.
This is the relationship between the serpent, the sea monster, and what we call the Ouroboros. That is the idea that of a serpent eating its own tail. And so why do we have this image of a serpent eating its own tail? What's the relationship?
I'm so glad you asked. Why we have the image of the serpent eating its own tail is because, much like in the Dark Tower movie made from Stephen King's books, everything outside our reality is terrible, terrible chaos full of demons, or like the permanent dream state where nothing is substantial, everything is always changing. It's always very dreamlike. Things shift and go and move. It's very chaos. It's a sea of unconscious chaos. And our reality is a foundational material plane that stays solid amongst all that foundational chaos. And the reason we call it the Ouroboros is because in the ancient Egyptian myth, the snake started eating its own tail, and it created this dream reality. And much like we have to eat other animals to survive, life eats itself to exist as a solid actuality amongst the dream chaos that exists outside this realm.
Between the rest. And if you read my brother's book, we'll see an image of his cover. You'll understand that it has to do exactly with that. It has to do with.
As you can see right there, the tree of creation is within the realm held together by life feeding on itself.
A type of causality which is not linear and logical and coherent, but rather a circularity, right? A kind of breakdown of linear causality, which is change, which is transformation, and is represented as the ridiculous idea. Well, not ridiculous, but like the idea of the serpent basically feeding on its own tail, which is obviously an impossibility. You can't have it's basically a kind of can.
It is an impossibility, and yet it is how we get one over on the entropy and the heat death of the universe, and have this glorious existence full of meaning amongst the sea of chaos, a sea of chaos. And the Michigan deck card of the show is ham being thrown at me. Here's the Jack of Hearts. It's from the Michigan deck. Hey, how about that, Jack? Okay, have some branding, shall you? And it turns out the Michigan deck saint, according to Stephen Sainted view, is good old Theodore of Studite. Isn't that a treat? Isn't that a treat? Here's some more of where I'm going while I bring up the next thing I'm talking about.
Cannibalism, like cannibalism, self-eating, is not possible. If you do that, obviously you'll degenerate, but then it becomes an image of this idea. But then it can easily then become an image of the edge of something, right? In the sense that it's the place where an identity starts to lose its coherence. And so it ends up being the rim or the periphery around an identity, because it is exactly that. It is an identity has a kind of coherence. It lays itself out in a regular pattern. But then when you reach the edge of that identity, you reach the place where it starts to contradict itself, where it starts to not be completely logical. And that is can be represented as this circle of chaos, this rim of chaos, which is, of course,
this means that the individual psyche is far from being safely synthesized. On the contrary, it threatens to fragment only too easily under the onslaught of unchecked emotions. While this situation is familiar to us from the studies of anthropologists, it is not so irrelevant to our own advanced civilization as it might seem. We too can become dissociated and lose our identity. We can be possessed and altered by moods or become unreasonable and unable to recall important facts about ourselves or others, so that people ask, "What the devil has gotten into you?" We talk about being able to control ourselves, but self-control is a rare and remarkable virtue.
Hey, we're back. Okay, so the thing is, what's on this card? We got this part, the Faith Dream Battery, Promethean Nemesis, and it's a dolphin. It's a dolphin, Bitty. It's a dolphin is a. You remember when people would go and they would stare at, they had these things, I guess it was the late 80s maybe, and they had them on the wall, and they were all like shiny, shimmery hologram looking, and you got to go over there and look at them and cross your eyes like this, and then you would, like, the things would shift as you relaxed your eyes, and you would see there was a dolphin in there in kind of 3D, and so it's kind of like that. It's a lot of us are spending a lot of time trying to look at something, and what
some guy could walk by and say, "Hey, it's a dolphin." And what I think really what we can best do for each other is the "Hey, it's a dolphin" service. When we see people staring at in the dark, mysterious, swirly things, and that's why it said "it's a dolphin" on the bottom of this card. This other side of the card, though, oh boy, and I'm so not prepared for it. That's going to be a lot of fun. That's going to be a lot of fun. Unfocused attention, attention, attention. This is a message for Pastor Paul Vanderclay. I saw who you had on your show this morning, the horrible things that man said about the kayfabe, and I just want you to know that I'm going to destroy you in the April Fool's conversation cage match. And I think what happened was, you can get one of these shirts in the links below. I think what happened was that wasn't embraced by the corner as much as I hoped it would be. Because you see, what we do here is we manifest things by speaking them into existence, and while the April Fool's cage match conversation cage match isn't a thing, it can easily be a thing, and all it would take is for the other channels that wanted to be in the cage match to make one of these "I'm gonna destroy you" videos and tag that other person in it, and then we can all have on April Fool's Day, we can all get in some big Zoom like this one that Chad did, and there'll be a cage match. And, that'd be fun, right? Remember.
This agency.
Slime! What? It's a river of slime!
Welcome. This is the Faith Dream Battery Be the Cake stream. Hat logo. Okay. And then we're doing this card here. And as in the call out there, the guy you had on your stream or on your show, the one I was talking about, is this. If you go over to Pastor Paul's channel and you look at his thumbnails, it's the one with the suspicious ghosty character behind the squatting man. And this is what it looks like.
Yeah, so starting January 2025, Raw, which is one of the flagship shows, is going to be on Netflix. And internationally, it's actually going to be, Netflix is going to be the home of wrestling.
Where we got that spicy piece of gossip, that Netflix is going to be the home of wrestling. But the thing is there's already so much, there's so much kayfabe built into the corner itself. The fact that that wasn't highlighted and drawn out, and the fact that man did not embody it immediately was rather disappointing to me. So I thought I would point out some of the kayfabe that I know do exist around the corner by swinging over to good old navigating patterns. This neural practitioner, Oh,
welcome
God,
to
don't talk.
Navigating Patterns.
Don't talk. All right, fine. Here's the official commercial for Mark's channel. Brought to you on my channel. What does the world come to?
Hello, and welcome to Navigating Patterns. My name is Mark Lefevre, and I shall be your host on a journey through the language, the models, and the pitfalls of sense-making. Join our community of fellow wisdom seekers who are exploring the deepest and most important aspects of our world. Please dive in. There is a lot of interesting material here that many have found helpful and that perhaps you can find value in as well. As always, I want to thank you, dear viewer, for your time and attention.
Oh, 34 seconds, but you stopped at 33. That's Mark. That's Mark. He has such wonderful things on his channel. Where's your pirate live streams? Come on, where are those at? Pirate navigations. Look at this. What? He comes on looking like this. We're already doing so much of this archetypal embodiment of bullshit in the corner on this level. How is it that this talking to this wrestling man over here? This one.
Yeah. A lot of places where a big thing that characterizes wrestling is that immediate audience participation and immediate feedback. And news channels, for example, now that you have Twitter and you have you can tell what the loudest voices want to see or want to hear in a way that if you're not used to dealing with that reaction, can really affect you. We need to give them everything they want, and then you get it's also it's either in terms of the voices you can see or the very down to the most minute level analytics where you can, okay, this article got this many clicks, this article got more clicks.
This stream got more donations thanks to Stephen D20, bringing up this 47% of damn suits are expensive to our Summit Grift goalpost move. Beat the cake. Okay, no. So we were going over how we have the archetypal character reference in the corner. And I've shown you myself, and I've shown you Lefevre, and you know Chad in the alcoholic mask. You know Raj.
Like Hobo's Lullaby. Go to sleep, you weary hobo.
And this sleeping spell. And you know the one and only Luke Thompson.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with your deduction. Your brain works fine. The problem is that you're not submitted to the truth outside of the truth that you want to be true. You're an ideologue.
Right.
You don't care if the baptism of John was from God.
Right.
You're not.
You're not. Okay, and then and so it's there already. We just don't have the Vince McMahon angle. Like Mr. Fats really failed us as far as that goes. Oh boy. Let's here. Let's jump to right here and do this. Because why?
Structure. You have the thing that is ordered, and then around it you have these circles, these rings of chaos. And I did it on purpose to show that in the Middle Ages, they often understood that this serpent wasn't just a serpent, was really like a kind of monstrous dragon character, which you see here on the right side. That's often identified as Lilith or as different kind of monstrous demonic characters. But you can see
Peak Kayfabe says no one even knows how. Grim Grizz has ham flying at him. The Cape is THICC. THICC. Okay, and then, hey, Hezzy coming in on the suit fund. Don't forget, donations to the suit fund. We're now at 48%. You could win this card. The biggest one, I'll mail you the card from it's my intellectual property. The artifact, an actual artifact, live from whatever this little corner was. You can have proof it existed if you're the biggest donor on today's Kofi Bot tickling. Oh, I'm so excited about this one. So excited about this grift. Okay.
See here that the serpent has legs, that the serpent has a human face, and is also has that. So it really is a monster or a dragon. It's not just.
Now, one of the things that really holds what we call is the powerful tool developed by Ryan Lewis, the de facto landlord of this little corner, called this-little-corner.com. And on this here card I had for today, it says also mooks and nights, because that's a thing that I know exists in the corner glossary, but I don't know it. I know it's important, but I don't know it. So we go over to this-little-corner.com and check out mooks, and we see it finds it right here. Let's see if this one is actually I sorted by most relevant, and it brought up this video from 220. So we go over here, we watch it on the YouTube, we stop it here, we share this tab.
That only to realize what happened to my.
Stop it. We share this tab instead. Now, this is supposed to be something about mooks and nights, because it's been referenced on this card for some reason I think must be important. Okay.
A Twitter feed. Why are all these people insulting me? In many ways, I came into living contact with a significantly side knight and his army of mooks, and I found it fascinating. Conflict on the internet of beefs is not governed by any sort of grand strategy or even particularly governed by ideological doctrines. It is an unflattened Hobbesian's honor system conflict. Now, a lot of these links go to other things that he's written, like this one, and I found that one interesting too, but no time to talk about it. An unflattened.
So, this is the attentional arena, and the best example of how it works is the school of education that Donald Trump got working under Vince McMahon and the WWE. So similarly, we can see how this applies to the logic and the thinking.
Hobbesian honor society conflict with a feudal structure, at the heart of which is an involuntary, anonymous, fungible, angry figure desperate to be seen as significant. The mook. Now, again, these agents are not just below me, they're in me, but they're also above me. There's an army.
Remember, Embody, there is no agency. We want what's best.
Of them, and together they become a principality or a power. And that'll be clear.
The only thing we've found that makes the emptiness bearable is each other.
We all know that there is no agency any living gent can see. Doing what is right for me is lifting up my bro so he can grow some eyes to see that doing what is right for me increases all our agency.
And the other part on the card today was creating missions and serious play, which was really, I was just kind of butthurt about how my calls for the scavenger hunting and the scavenger board haven't been manifesting, and that's mostly on my end, and I shouldn't cry about it. But we have look, it's Afriel Pilotson. We have a hive mind and a Discord, and we work together and we do things. And apparently getting a 7 indigo emoji on the thing you do on the Discord isn't properly motivating. and I don't know what to do about it. But okay, so there's that part of that card. Faith Dream Battery is the stream. We didn't really do that. We kind of touched on the background of it with the Promethea bullshit. We haven't delivered on the Faith Dream Battery, so we're gonna have to do that. And before we can, yes, I didn't properly poke around to find you, Hezi, or Jacob, and put you on the hey, look at these characters of the TLC thing. I'm disappointed that you never got a character card. We do have one for Mr. Fats over on the Discord, but I'm not going to dig it up today. I'm getting through this Faith Dream Battery stream here with the nice image of Be the Cake. Be the Cake. Okay. So, like, that's Promethea as the AI drew it. Promethea was the graphic novel series written by Ben Draft. He did a threesome with an artist and an illustrator. And Promethea was a fictionalish superhero that possessed some young lady and took her down 33 paths, a 33rd path, and then through each sphere of the Sephiroth, each of the Sephiroth of the Kabbalah tree, and just an entire walkthrough of the tarot. It's basically a handbook for black magic bullshit, written by Alan Moore. Now, the subplot was the apocalypse of the world around them, and that ends with Promethea being telling everybody, okay, guess what? It's all a big dream. It's all a big dream, and everybody keep on dreaming. Keep on dreaming. So there's the Dream Faith Battery. Now, the Dream Faith Battery goes like this. Okay, you don't know what. Okay, first of all, let's go to yourself. What you think of as you is mostly your left brain or conscious you. But pretend instead of an unconscious, what you have instead is a fully functional brain, as smart and charming and clever and wonderful as you, that just has no language ability whatsoever, kind of like Helen Keller. You got a whole hemisphere of a genius brain that's Helen Kellering at you, but it gets to talk to you in your dreams and paint it gets to be the agentic arena in your dreamscape when you're sleeping, and it communicates to you that way. It also, but on this consciousness side, when you're awake, it manifests as your snitch, your salient snitch landscape, or showing, like, bringing your attention to things. Here, look here, look here. That's what it gets to do between your right brain and your left brain. Now, dream faith. So you don't know what you believe. Like if you watch and see what you embody, then you can learn what you believe. And somebody that hates you, okay, watches you closely, could show you what you actually believe by what you embody. And then that's whatever you think you believe is one thing. It's not a not thing. But to the extent that you are the embodiment of the thing you believe, it's like you're the not a thing. Because remember, embody. Remember.
There is no agency. We want past.
Remember. All right, and so to the extent that the all of this existence is part something that's held together by faith, right? The thing that makes actuality, which is like people say reality. There's reality and there's actuality. There's like so like in reality, the lady did this for these motivations, but in actuality, anyway, it's hard to explain, but there's a distinct difference. And what holds together actuality is the sum total faith of the image of the creator stored in the human vessels. Usually is shadow faith that they're not even consciously aware of what they believe, like whether or not it's possible an alien could land in the backyard. And so, like, anyway, reality is complicated. Point being that what you have shadow faith in holds reality the way it is. So if you can learn what you hold shadow faith in and move yourself toward the embodiment of what you actually have and faith in, then who knows how reality might shift around you. Or something. Hello. I see the assassin. I see the assassin. I see Oh, we have no idea which is best for you, but we want that which is best for you, Afriel. Welcome, everybody. That's all I'm going to be able to do, except for stall for like another 20, 30 seconds to give you guys a chance to have this card here. No, not that one. Where'd it go? That beautiful poem on a card mailed to you for being the largest donor to the Suit Fund. Today, you can deny delivery. You're not obligated to take it, but whoever does make the suit, the biggest one, is the winner. Okay, what is best in life? What is best in life? Well, it's hard not to spin into a Conan quote. The Conan quote, but the best in life is ham. Delicious ham brought to you by somebody that wants what's best for you. Ham. That's the best. What about the tie? A bow tie? Yes, it could be a bow tie suit. It's all dependent on how much suit fundage comes in. Have a Vitamix. Mostly says it's what's good for you. Zen Conan. Okay, look. All right, nobody's doing. But just keep going until somebody do. No, what? What are you thinking? Okay, cured Conan. Cured. What? Stop. Okay, this was serious play. I hope everybody had fun. Here's the train. I'll see you guys next time. If I live, survive this.